So today, friends, we are going to be doing a huge declutter. A declutter physically, a declutter of the mind, a declutter of my body. Because I've been feeling a little bit stuckish, a little bit just avoidant of certain projects that I'm doing, of certain areas in my space, I think it is time to do a huge declutter. And usually when I do these things, I feel so much better. I think what we need to realize is that we are constantly, as humans, we're constantly experiencing things. We're constantly experiencing life. Things are happening constantly around us that we tend to hold on to things, whether that's metaphorically or physically. And I feel like those things, when they just don't serve us or we've outgrown those things, we forget to let go of those things. And I feel like it's a good idea not only to physically declutter our space and let go of things that we're not really using, but also let go of ideas that we hold on to, experiences that we are holding on to. And for me, I like to do that by doing a huge declutter. I want to start off by decluttering physically my wardrobe now that we're transitioning into spring. Not only do I want a refresher of what spring-ish clothes I have, but also I want to let go of anything, whether it's winter or spring clothes, that I'm no longer going to be using and donate those. I love doing this because me letting go of pieces that I'm no longer using makes room for fresh new things. I'm also going to be creating an intentional safe space, which for me is sort of like a designated area where I can go and de-stress, where I can go and just unwind. Some people might call this an altar, which I also do, and I love creating intentional altars or safe spaces where I feel safe, where I feel held, understood, an area where I feel like I can just release the heaviness of the day and feel supported. Some might call this more of a spiritual practice, but I truly believe that for me personally, spirituality and mental health, wellness as a whole really go hand in hand. And I love doing these particular practices because there's just so much going on in the world all the time. And I feel like, yes, I try my best to create a safe space all around in my home. It's just so much more magical when you have a designated area in your home where it holds all these little components that really are significant to support you in getting better. And we're gonna go through everything. You guys are gonna see some of the items that I used to create this safe space. I also want to end the night with doing a magical oracle tarot card reading. I love using oracle or tarot cards to be able to understand myself better and my emotions, or to be able to use that tool as a sort of guidance into how it is that I can move forward if I am feeling a little bit of blockage. Listen, in general, I just love living a very magical and intentional life, and I feel like doing little things like these, using tarot cards, creating an altar or safe space, really adds that magical touch in our lives that oftentimes I feel like is missing in a lot of our adult years. And when I allow myself to reconnect to just my surroundings and life in general in a very magical and intentional way, it really sort of alters this inner wisdom within me, this driving force that nothing can tear me down, because I just feel so empowered when I am using these tools to my advantage. So friends, that is what this video is going to be about. Enough yapping, let's get into this video, and I hope that you enjoy this vlog. Cinnamon.
Kidding.
You made me overthink it. Remember when I did that once? What did I put on it? Turmeric?
Turmeric or something.
Okay, so this is the bedroom side of our room. So what I'm thinking is going through this dresser here. This is my side of the dresser. I want to go through all of my shirts, 3 drawers full of shirts that I need to go through and see what I want to keep, what I want to donate. And this little glass case holds mine and my husband's pants, my skirts, and sweaters. I need to go through them and refold them because it looks horrible. And this dresser holds our undergarments and our pajamas and sweats and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna leave that alone. I went through this not that long ago, so I feel like that's still okay. As some of you guys may know, we are currently living with my parents because me and my husband are saving for a home. We have a pretty large bedroom. I was able to make a little mini living room, and then we have our little desk areas because me and my husband work from home. So it's been quite the journey trying to figure out how to stay organized, how to live comfortably while half of our life is in a storage, but it's been working out. We're very grateful for this space, and it's definitely made me, I guess, a little bit more creative when it comes to organizing and storing stuff because of the limited space that we have. But yeah, this is a little 360 of how things are looking like in this space. But for now, we're going to focus on this area of the bedroom. Let's get into it. Okay, you guys, this is how we are looking. These are all my sweaters. I have organized them from like the big, chunky, thick, very warm sweaters to sort of a little bit more lightweight, casual, and very lightweight that I still would use during the spring season, because the spring season, it still gets chilly. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of any sweaters. After going through everything, I still wear all of these. So these have been worn consistently, which is good. Plus, I did a little declutter, I think maybe in December when I was going through my sweaters done, and I got rid of a bunch that I knew for sure I wasn't going to be wearing. And since then, I feel like these are still pretty good. So this is how this area is looking. These are some crew necks that I wear for just working out when I go to the gym. I think I'm going to put like my very big, thick, chunky winter sweaters up here if they fit, and then my more casual springy sweaters down here, the way I can easily just grab them. Those are my husband's sweaters that I just folded for him, and then I have to take care of that. clothes, and it makes me so happy that probably 90% of my closet is thrifted, and that makes me just so excited. The only thing that I sometimes have a hard time finding at thrift stores are jeans. Usually I cannot find a nice pair of jeans that is flattering on my body at the thrift store. So usually when it comes to jeans, or I'm going to buy a new pair of jeans, or I need a new pair of jeans, those I do tend to get from the store. I feel like also this is the first time in a long time that I really connect with the clothing pieces that I own. In my 30s, I've really leaned more into purchasing items that really feel like me, because for the longest time I feel like I was trying to fit into this, I don't know, trendy styling fashion thing. I've always loved clothing. I've always enjoyed getting dressed, but I feel like for the longest time I was just someone who used to follow, I guess, trend things, and I never really felt like I connected with my clothing pieces because I was following these trends that didn't really necessarily speak to me personally. And I feel like ever since I entered my 30s, I've really made it an importance to purchase items that feel like me. So I've had to ask myself, well, what feels like me? What I've discovered that when it comes to clothing, I really appreciate comfortness. I really appreciate just pieces that make me feel excited to wear, that are not too tight, that feel airy and comfortable, that make me feel magical and whimsical. So a lot of the pieces that I have sometimes, well, at least for me, they feel very airy, very fairy in a sense. I have a lot of loose fitting with beautiful sleeve kind of tops. I really love earthy tones as well, so I purchase a lot of earthy toned clothing pieces. So I've really gotten into the hassle of appreciating trends that I wouldn't necessarily wear, because before I would be like, ooh, that's really nice, that looks really nice on that person, and then when I would buy something similar, I would just be like, oh, this doesn't look very flattering on me, and then it would make me feel really bad about myself. And as someone who has struggled with body dysmorphia for a handful of years, I've really learned to tune into my own sense of style. And even now as an adult, whenever I get dressed, it feels magical. You know, it feels like when I was a little girl and I used to just throw on random things, like a little dress up party. I feel like many of us, when we get older, we lose just our sense of wonder, and that includes like feeling excited to dress up or to wear those clothing pieces in our closet that feel very magical, and that we don't wear them unless we're going somewhere, I don't know, extravagant. Or I feel like the older we get, it just seems getting dressed up in general, or just feeling excited about clothing is just like whatever. We don't really put importance into it. Clothing, well, at least for me, is such a beautiful way to express ourselves. It's a beautiful way to adorn our bodies and to showcase our personalities through clothing. I've always believed that. That's why I've always, I suppose, experimented with different types of clothing, but it wasn't until I truly tuned into what it was that I personally liked that things started becoming extra fun for me, I suppose. Well, I say all this to say is to encourage folks to dress up, to play around with your clothing items, to feel excited about your clothing. Things don't have to get boring or less important just because we're getting older. Things can feel just as magical and whimsical like when we were kids, playing dress up and wearing our favorite dresses or shorts or shirts or whatever it was. Things can be just as magical even now in our adult years. Okay friends, we are back from the store and I want to do a little haul of the things that I got. I initially just went to go get some flowers and a little plant. I had this pot that I really love, and the plant that was inside, there was only like a little leaf sprouting in there. So I wanted a more fuller plant for this pot. Went to the store, I found the perfect one, and as soon as I got home I showed my mom my new plant and she offered to just plant it in my pot for me. She has a really good green thumb, so I just said yes. And this is how it came out. This is my pot. It is a pretty heavy boy, so I'm gonna put this down, but I really love it. So the area that I'm creating to be my safe space, or as some would call it, an altar, I personally love for that area to feel alive. And for me, in order to be able to do that, I like to include things that are indeed alive, such as plants, such as flowers, which this is the little bouquet that I got as well. For me, anything that is alive is definitely something that has been foraged or is from the earth, such as maybe a bird leaf that I foraged somewhere, crystals, I don't know, sticks. I feel like when your altar or your safe space feels alive, you kind of treat it like if it's a real person, which for me, I totally feel like it is. And it goes such a long way when you come to it kind of to de-stress. It feels like you are coming to this person to tell them your burdens, and it truly feels like a safe space, like a person that you go to be able to just become undone. So I love to treat my safe space or my altar as a living, breathing entity, and for me to be able to do that, I love to decorate it with living things such as plants and flowers and other little minerals that I gather. So besides the plant and the flowers, which initially that's what I needed, but then I started browsing around and I ended up purchasing some other things. I ended up getting these British shortbread cookie collection with 3 different kinds. It has coffee, English, toffee and nut, and cocoa. I've never tried these. I love having little snacks like these for the night when I am just unwinding or reading a book. And then I ended up getting this candle, which I haven't gotten a candle in a while actually, at least not a brand new one. I've thrifted candles recently, but I got this scented candle that is tomato leaf with soy wax, coconut oil, and beeswax. I love the little tin can. I love the color and I feel like it's just perfect for the spring season. You know, I've never bought in a vegetable candle before. This is my first vegetable candle that I've ever gotten, but it actually does smell like the leaf of a tomato. It smells like a farm stand. I just love it so much. I'm definitely going to upcycle this little tin can. I feel like I could definitely use this for little knickknacks that I have laying around that definitely need some sort of container. But this smells so good. I love it. And then the next thing that I got is this dry shampoo because I get greasy bangs quite often and I ran out of my dry shampoo. I like using this one. It is a powdered format, which doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone likes powder, but I like it for my hair. And then I got jojoba oil. I love using jojoba oil for my face and my body. This is the first thing that I put in the mornings after I wash my face, and the first thing that I put at night after I wash my face to go to bed. And then I do my skincare routine, and I just love how it makes my face feel. I haven't used this brand before. I usually use a different kind of brand, but because I was already out and this was available, I just went ahead and grabbed it. So that was a haul, friends. Now it is time to create the safe space in question, or altar if you will. I'm very excited for this new space where I'm going to put my safe space at, because where I had it before, it was very small. I feel like where I'm going to put it now, it is going to be more accessible. I'm going to actually be able to burn candles, because that is one of my favorite things to do, is to burn candles in my little safe space area, especially because I find myself going to my safe space mostly at night before going to bed. I like to meditate in front of my safe space. I like to come to it and just give my things. It is like my area where I come and say thank you to the earth, thank you to my ancestors, and just give my gratitude for the day. So I'm very excited where I'm going to put it. So let me show you guys where we're actually going to put my little safe space altar area. Okay, so I know it has all of my stuff that I just bought, but I'm going to empty this out right now, and I'm going to put my little altar area here. I feel like this is going to be perfect because it's facing my bed and it's also facing the window, so it's going to get nice lighting as well, and it's just a big space, so I feel like I can do a lot with this unwinding dedicated area that I'm going to have. Before, I used to have that in one of my little bookshelves here, and it just was really hard because I couldn't really burn candles because it was just unsafe. I remember I burned a little tea light candle and then the top of my bookshelf got really warm, and I was like, wait, no, I'm not gonna do that. That is a safety hazard. So I'm very excited to put my little safe space area here because I'm going to be able to burn all the candles that I want. So I went ahead and shopped around my shelves and I got a couple of items that I'm going to be using for my little safe space area. I have some staple books that I absolutely love. This is from the Library of Esoterica. This is my astrology book, and then I have the tarot version one. I love them so much. They're packed full of information. They're just so magical. I have here my little money bowl that I created. This is a little spell bowl that I did at the beginning of this year to just bring abundance to my home. And then you guys see me thrift this on my last vlog, which I absolutely love. I have this little cute angel that I also thrifted. Honestly, everything here is thrifted except the books. Love that. This is also a candle holder, which I need to clean that wax. But I love it so much because at night, whenever I put a candle in here, you could see the light seep out through the little stars and it just looks so magical. I love that. This is a piece of my art that I put in this thrifted frame. Thrifted candle, thrifted candle, thrifted candle. I'm thinking of using those. These are my candle holders, which were also thrifted. I have this little cauldron that is full of just burning wands. I love burning a little bit each morning. So I think that's what I'm going to be using for this little safe space. Maybe. mentioned this on my channel before, but I truly feel that using tarot and oracle cards are a great tool for self-care. I feel like when I'm looking to just declutter my mind, my body, I always go to tarot and oracle cards because it feels like a friend who is telling me how it is that I'm feeling, when oftentimes I am someone who gets overwhelmed with my emotions and everything that I'm feeling, that I don't know how to make sense of certain things. And the cards usually make me sort of categorize what I'm feeling and kind of work through all of the noise in my head and really get to the core of what it is that I'm feeling by being able to focus on a card, the word on the card, or the artwork on a card. It really helps me focus on that to really make sense of what it is that I'm feeling in that moment and tie the image on the card, the word on the card together to how I'm feeling. For me, this is a very magical practice, and that's what I love about it. It makes, not only does it make me feel magical myself and my environment, it makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel like I have control of a sense in my life when oftentimes things might feel very out of control. So when I'm looking to sort of declutter my mind, my body, using these cards really helps me to feel like I have some sort of power, some sort of control, which I truly believe I do, and I will always stand by that. But all the noise makes us feel like we don't, or at least it makes me feel like I don't. So I love doing 3 card spread tarot or oracle cards to be able to sort of declutter what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling mentally, how my body is feeling, to be able to make sense of things, put words to these emotions that sometimes I just don't have the words to, journal about it. And even right now as I'm talking to you guys, I feel a lot more lighter. I feel like a lot of this weight that I was feeling throughout the month, throughout the week, has slowly trickled away. It's a very magical practice paired with gratitude journaling. I love using the cards as part of my self-care routine. You guys, it really makes a difference when you declutter your space, when you organize, when you declutter your body, your mind. It really makes quite the difference to how you feel. I feel like such a brand new person. I mean, I'm tired because it is pretty late already, but I do feel very refreshed. I feel very self-aware of myself. I think oftentimes holding on to, whether it's pieces of clothing, items, or old habits, or old feelings or old emotions that no longer resonate, all those things tend to build up, and they can block us from fully accessing ourselves and fully being present in this moment and being able to embrace what is currently happening, because we're still holding on to gunky stuff from the past, or holding on to items that no longer vibrate with us. I truly feel like everything in our surroundings, whether it's a piece of clothing, whatever piece of item, I feel like everything holds energy, in my personal opinion. And when we keep things around that are not actively being used or no longer serve us in any way or format, I feel like it definitely blocks our space. It blocks us from accessing our creativity, from feeling like our best selves. I feel like that's why sometimes we might feel creative blocks. We might feel a little bit stuck because something in our environment or maybe within us is blocking us from accessing our creativity, from accessing our joy, our happiness. So, decluttering is more than just getting rid of stuff. It is making space for new beginnings. It is making space for new creativity, for new opportunities. And that is why I truly love decluttering and just making sure that everything in my space are things that I am still consistently interacting with, that I'm still vibing with, as well as just doing self check-ins with gratitude journaling, with doing some little spreads so I can be able to get called out on my own BS and sort of make sense of what is happening internally within my mind and my body. Decluttering our space, decluttering our mind and body, those are the biggest things when it comes to just doing any sort of reset for me. They truly just go a long way in my self-care routine. Well, friends, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you stuck around until the end, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I truly appreciate your time. I hope that you got some inspiration from this video. I hope that you give yourself some time to declutter in any sense that may be for you, whether it is your space, your body, your mind. I would love to hear what part of this video resonated with you. Let me know down in the comments below, or simply just say hi. I always love hearing from you guys. Remember, friends, that you can create the life that you want because you so deserve it. I'll be seeing you in another video very, very soon. Until then, friends, take care and bye for now.